Hello, Top Fan Rivalry followers, and welcome to a brand new edition, the pilot episode of a new segment that's going to be a Braves Talk segment. Now, we haven't thought of the exact title. Now, Thomas wanted to call it Bill's Better Looking Than Jackson. I thought that would be a little rude to Jackson, but I got to introduce you to my guy. You know him. He's written articles. He's been on our show a bazillion times. Now he has his own show on Top Fan Rivalry. So, Thomas, how are you doing? And I guess welcome to your own pilot. I don't know how you say that.
Well, thanks for having me, Bill. I'm doing good. Almost to the All-Star break, and as a Braves fan, I am so ready. I'm just like clawing, scratching, just trying to crawl and get to the All-Star break because this first half has been rough, with all capital letters, just rough in general.
1,000 bazillion percent. I mean, and I feel for you because my guys that are out on my team, they're out, but they're going to bounce back. Your guys that are out for the season, so there ain't no nothings.
Yeah, especially when you have two of the top five players entering the season, the Cy Young leading candidate, the MVP leading candidate, and they both go out for the season. It's rough, especially when they go out in the first 2 months of the season. And man, but and what keeps going in the back of my mind is the last time Acuna got hurt for the season, the Braves got a ring out of it. And I'm trying to just hold on to that, just trying to stay as positive as possible. But it's been a rough first half of the season.
100%, 100%. And you and I talked at the beginning of the season, and we said straight out and straight up, two, three major injuries, and that could, with the Phillies being as good as they were, and the Mets possibly being good, which the Mets have proven both of us wrong. They are contenders. They're not pretenders anymore. They are
Yeah.
contenders, at least for a wild card spot. And
But I've been saying that all season, the Braves aren't concerned. We would love to win the NL East for a seventh straight time, but just making it to the playoffs, that's our biggest priority right now. So, hey, Philly, y'all have the better team right now, even though we just took the win in the series this past weekend. But
this guy.
hey, you know that.
Yeah, no, we know. Okay, so break down for those that are new to your show. Break down for me exactly. Assume that I know nothing and talk to me about the first half of the Braves. What you've seen, what you like and you don't like. You're on the clock. 3 minutes, go.
Two major things to figure out what's going on with the Braves season in the first half. Inconsistent offense, and then the injury bug is biting our butts right now. Inconsistent offense in the fact that less than 1 year ago, we had the best offense in the entire major leagues, in the history of Major League Baseball, where everything we touched turned to gold. Everything we were hitting, we were just pounding everything. We had the best statistical offense up and down. But something happened in the offseason. Something happened. Maybe they changed the baseballs. Rob Manfred, whatever. He'll never admit to doing that, but something's but it's just not flying like it did last year. It's just something's going on. Maybe we're just unlucky this year, but who knows? We're just not hitting the ball consistently like we did last year. Then going into the injury bug, Spencer Strider, Sean Murphy, Ronald Acuna Jr., Michael Harris II, Orlando Arcia, all these huge names for the Braves, and half of them are out for the entire season. Now, I'm just happy that we're still leading the league, the National League, in the wild card right now, where we will be hosting the wild card if the season ended today. But all those injuries, that's a good half of our win percentage right there. And the fact that we're still 8 games behind the Phillies, that shows you how deep this roster is. But it's hard to be competitive when you're losing so many top name players who are all-stars every single year, who are award winners every single year. It's tough to go through what we're going through right now.
Okay. So where are your strengths, where are your weaknesses?
Strength right now, pitching, by far starting pitching. We have 3 out of the top 10 best pitchers in the National League in surprising candidate, Ronaldo Lopez, who no one thought was going to be a good starter because when he was with the Sox, it did not work for him. He was a great relief pitcher, but starter was just not there. He, as of yesterday, he took over the candidacy for the top ERA in the league right now. Then you have Chris Sale putting together a Cy Young caliber type season, 11-3 right now, sub three on a contract year. Max Fried doing what Max Fried always does. He's had maybe 4 total offhanded starts. Everything else, he looks like a Cy Young candidate pitcher as well. So that 3-headed monster at the top of the team, that's holding us together right now. Them alone has a good half of our wins right there. So they're holding our inconsistent offense, holding us right where we need to be.
I would agree with that. I picked up I picked up Chris Sale on my fantasy team, and it was amazing, Thomas, what I did. Because in my fantasy team, you have a fake $200, right? It's not real money. Nobody buys in anything, but it's, you nominate a player if it's your turn, and then everybody bids until the highest bidder, so people stop bidding. I pulled out Chris Sale towards the end, and I think I picked him up for $2. He has been the best pickup that I've had. Like, he has just been everything I never knew I always wanted. 11-3. I mean, the guy is pumping out 13 strikeout games. It's amazing what this kid is doing. And it's good to see a revitalization of a career, right? Because you just don't like seeing people struggle. It's just not awesome, right? So
I'm going to let Jackson fact check me on this, but out of his 11 wins, I'm pretty sure 7 of them, or 7 or 8, were stopping wins where we're on a losing skid. We need Chris Sale to get up there. As soon as he touches the bump, he breaks a losing skid for us, gets us back into the win category, and we usually jump and fire start right at air. But he's been the one to ignite us and catch a spark.
I love how you say Jackson could fact check me.
Top fan stats guy. I'm gonna give him his love. He knows his statistics.
I was just gonna say, if for those of you who don't know, Jackson is the top fan stats guy. The dude can pull up stats like you wouldn't believe. When the wind is blowing at 30 miles an hour north to northeast, in a game that starts before 2 p.m. that ends before 4:37, like, he's got the most random stats pulled out. And I mean, one day he was pulling out Josh Gibson stats that I hadn't even heard of. And just shaking my head, going, Jackson, you need to get out more, brother. I appreciate this, but you see that door? Use it. Why don't you take your son for a walk? Something. I don't
We
care.
appreciate you for that, Jackson. So when you're watching this, we
Love you.
do appreciate.
We love you. All right. So we talked about strengths and weaknesses. Now, talk to me about the second half. This is going to air. We're filming this on Monday the 8th. It's going to air on the 9th. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be all over in the locker room and everything like that. But Thomas, tell me, assume I know nothing. Tell me what you need in the second half.
All right, so top priority, we need to have trust in Anthopoulos. Alex Anthopoulos will do what he always does. He will find some type of magic. He will work his Muju, Guju, whatever it takes. He'll do whatever it takes to get the Braves to where they need to be. Whether that be getting another outfielder, whether that be getting a 4th starter. But you know how the playoffs are. You really only need 3 top of the line starters.
Thank
But
you.
if we need to get that 4th starter just to make it to October, just to make sure the injury bug doesn't bite them as well, go do it. Go do it. And then we can figure it out from there. We just, I don't know. Maybe we go get Jazz Chisholm Jr. Maybe we go get another. Who knows? I'm just going to trust in Anthopoulos and let him work his magic out there.
Okay, so final question. Are you a Dodger fan this week?
Am I a Dodger fan this week? It's hard to ever be a Dodger fan. I don't know. Something about that royal blue. It just.
They're in Philly this week.
But I mean, can we just both teams lose? Is it possible? Can we have a tie? I know they used to have ties back in the day. Can we just have a 46 inning tie and both teams just drop dead?
So, Jackson, you may be the first ever show that we had a pilot episode. I'm sorry, Thomas, a pilot episode and then no follow-up episode. You may be the first guy ever in the history of Top Fan Rivalry, and we appreciate that fact about you. That's great. I mean, you set a Top Fan Rivalry record book. We love you for it. Thank you so much. No, your answer. Hold on a second. Cut. Your answer is yes, I'm a Dodger fan. Ready? Action. No, I'm teasing you. Oh, too much, too much, too much. Well,
The Dodgers at they're 55-36. Philadelphia's 58-32. Yeah, I can be a Dodger fan at least for a couple of days.
don't say like it's a death sentence. Just say, yeah, I could be a Dodger fan. Like,
I
say
mean,
it
I
with
feel
some
like I'm
pride.
juicing up on steroids right now. Look at your when your roster is healthy, it's completely juiced. It's an all-star team. Y'all could literally have a healthy Dodger team, take on the American League by yourself, and have a competitive 7-game series. But again, that's when healthy, because y'all have been bitten by the injury bug as well.
Yeah. Did you see Mookie Betts go down?
I did not see Mookie. Mookie is my favorite player outside of a Braves uniform. What happened to him?
So 18 days ago on a
Mhm.
Sunday, no, whatever, it's 2 weeks plus whatever. It was a Sunday game. Pitcher throws inside, catcher's outside. Pitcher throws inside, and Mookie like gets out of the way. Next pitch is inside, and Mookie fights it off like just like a defensive swing. Next pitch hits him off the top of the hand and or the side of the hand, breaks, shatters his hand all up. He's out until after the All-Star break. It sounds like he'll probably be out until the end of July. But here's the problem. True or false? True or false? Do the Dodgers have a full-time DH?
Yes, we do have full time DH. I would say true on that.
So who do you bench? If Mookie can't play the field, who do you bench? Mookie or Shohei?
That's actually a very interesting question because they're both MVP players. They both know how to swing the bat, but hey, I'm not going to take the bat out of the $700 million man. So I got.
So Thomas, this is what you and I were talking about offline about whether or not the Dodgers sign Shohei or not. Is what happens if one of the marquee players goes down? And guess what? One of the marquee players went down.
Yeah,
And so now what do you do?
you're
Right?
stuck. I mean, you don't have the luxury of being able to rotate into that DH position like 99% of the other teams do. You have a literal full time DH where that is the only thing he can do. Other players, oh, he might not win you the game, but we can still put Marcell Ozuna in left field just to, hey, play 1 or 2 games throughout this whole month in left field just to give somebody else a chance out there. We have that luxury. Y'all do not.
And that's my point. So he got hit on his glove hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So which is good that it's not on his throwing hand. I love that. But what are you gonna do when he can't field? When he can't put a glove on his hand?
Where has Mookie been playing this season? Mookie is Mr. Utility. He is the utility all star. Where has he been playing this season?
Shortstop.
Shortstop. The most important position out there.
So he's been playing
Ooh.
shortstop because Jason Hayward has been lights out. He's been playing right field. Jason Hayward went back to catch a ball, busted up his knee. He's on the IL until the end of the month. Um, I mean, so we got some rooks out in the outfield, but he's been playing shortstop. And I hate to say it, but Miguel Rojas, who has taken his place, is a better fielding shortstop. Mookie still doesn't feel comfortable out there. I mean, remember, he came up as a traditional second baseman, but
Yeah.
when the Red Sox brought him up, they had Dustin Pedroia there, so they moved him to
Mm-hmm.
right field. He's not a right
Yeah, he,
fielder.
but he's a Gold Glove caliber player. But that's just showing how much of an athlete he is. But hey, these are questions that need answers. That I'm glad I don't have to.
Yeah, this was the issue that I had before. As they call him out here, they call Freddie Freeman the one with the teeth out here. And so I mean, so Fred, what happens if Mookie or Freddie goes down? Hey, but you have Shohei. I mean, this is the argument that you have, and honestly, eh, what can you do, right?
Yeah.
So seeing that you're a Dodger fan, you're pulling for the Dodgers this week.
I will pull for the Dodgers this week just to even the gap or shorten the gap between the Braves and the Phillies just before the All Star break.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Thomas, you're making a good choice, my friend. You're making a good choice. All right.
I mean, Phillies and Braves are 5-5 in their last 10. So hey, it's right there for the taking.
That's right there. So, all right. So, Thomas, now that we've got our pilot episode in the books, here's how this is going to roll. For you that are listening to this,
Mhm.
Top Fan Rivalry followers, Thomas's show will be on YouTube. It'll also be in our locker room. Let me tell you why you want to be in our locker room. Okay. You've got articles in there, and you've got podcasts in there, which is great. I mean, and you can get that stuff, uh, which is just awesome. But then you also have membership perks where you have discounts on get-togethers, you have discounts on uh, uh, collectibles. That's where the membership really starts. And so, Thomas, it's going to be great to have you. But tell everybody, because you don't want them paying full price. Tell everybody what it looks like, what they're supposed to use to get a discount on their stuff, merch included.
Of course, you can use my discount code 755 chop all capital letters. Get your discount, get all your merch, get all your needs for Top Fan Rivalry. Just support us as much as you can. And then, hey, if you want to lose in trash talk, because if you haven't met me, if you haven't seen any of the episodes I've been on, I'm minored in trash talk. So you can be more than welcome. Slide into my DMs. I will break you down on why my team is better, why your team is worse. I will go all the way. I will dissect it. You can look me up on all social media. 755 Chop Talk.
Perfect. All right, Thomas, it's been great having you for the pilot episode. We'll put this up and we'll make sure that we put in the locker room as well. And as usual, have a great time. Look forward to doing this with you as often as occasion permits.
Yes, sir. Chop on.
Capon.